Just 4 days till the start of the Transcendent Dokkan campaign, but who will be on the banner? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We are back for another Dokkan Battle video. We are roughly 24 hours away from the reveal of the Dokkan Fest LR for the Transcendent Dokkan campaign, and 4 days away from the release of the banner. So in this video, we're going to take a look at when we should be expecting this banner and who is going to be on it, because regardless of who the Dokkan Fest LR will be for the upcoming Transcendent Dokkan campaign, these characters that you're about to see will pretty much be consistent. Tanabata is a pretty predictable banner. So let's go ahead, let's hop on in. So, alright, we know that the campaign is starting on the 28th, and we know this because of the in-game news showing that just about everything is leaving on the 28th, if it has not already begun to leave by the 25th when this live stream goes live later this evening, right? So this is set to go live at on the 26th at 3 a.m. PST. So that'll be on my time. That'll be roughly 11 p.m. on the 25th. So really looking forward to seeing who that is, and regardless of who it's going to be, right, it's not really going to change who's on the banner, right? In order to figure out who's going to be on the banner, we have a pretty easy way to figure things out. We need to look at either UI Goku's banner from last year's Tanabata campaign. After all, this campaign is the replacement for the Tanabata campaign, so we can pretty safely assume that it'll be similar setup to that. Or we need to look at the Super Full Power Saiyan for Goku banner. And I personally believe that the Super Full Power Saiyan for Goku banner is going to give us a closer idea of what to expect. And that is mainly because of GDC being moved Tanabata now. A lot of the LRs that should have returned here, right, i.e. like the 6-year Easy A's, didn't, right? So like this would have been the 7-year Easy A's if we had followed the pattern of last year, but they didn't return. They returned on the GDC. They return on the GDC banner, so unlikely that they're going to return here as well, right? Previous Tanabata units such as Vegeta and Trunks won't be on here because they were just on the GDC banners as well. So knowing that, I actually believe that there's going to be less LRs a la the Super Full Power Saiyan 4 banner. And there's another reason for that, and that's because of who's going to be on the banner. So I made a little handy-dandy chart here to help us understand who we can expect to see on the banner. So there are two leading themes for what we expect to see revealed tomorrow night. Either one, it is related to Universal Survival Saga, right? Being Metal, the winner of the Universal Survival Saga. We could be seeing somebody like MVP 17, for example, or the metal represents Golden Frieza a la Resurrection of F, meaning we could see one, you know, maybe a Dokkan Fest Golden Frieza as the Dokkan Fest LR. We've never had a villain for Tanabata, so that would be kind of cool if they did something like that. But regardless of who it is, right, we'll just base our banner around one of those two themes. So first and foremost, we can take a look at the banner. Whoever it is, right, we're going to have one new LR here, and then a new banner unit here. So that's already 2 units accounted for compared to our previous banners, right? So, right, the first 2 unit blocks here. Next, right, should be the return of Kaioken Goku and Hit. Now, normally these guys would return during the worldwide celebration, and the returning unit would be like last year it was the April Dokkan Fest, or actually no, this was the March Dokkan Fest. However, this year things are a little wonky. The March Dokkan Fest has already returned. It was the Super Saiyan 3 Mini Vegeta. He returned on the August Dokkan Fest banner, which was the Gohan, Goten, and Trunks, right? If we just take a look at the banners here real quick, we can show you guys that, right? If we just take a look at the available banners here, right, we can see Vegeta did already just return, so that knocks out the March Dokkan Fest. So next would be the April Dokkan Fest, except April Dokkan Fest doesn't usually show up in this time frame. The April Dokkan Fest is usually on the August Dokkan Fest, but the August Dokkan Fest was taken up by this LR situation, right? So that begs the question, right? The thing is, the rest of the year, there are no other dual Dokkan Fests until the New Year's celebration, which means there's nowhere else to really slide in a big dual Dokkan Fest unit like the Hit and Kaioken Goku, right? It doesn't make sense for them to slide both of them in onto a single banner for the new for just a random monthly Dokkan Fest return, which means I think that the April Dokkan Fest, which was Cell, is likely not going to return. Where's I have him somewhere here, right? STR Cell, he's likely not going to return, but rather these two are going to turn. And this isn't the first time we've seen a double return like that, right? The year on Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Goku's banner, and this is again why I also feel like his banner may be the closest to what we see, right? Both Gammas returned on this banner here, so we would probably be seeing something similar to that with Kaioken Goku and Hits. The next unit to return, the obvious, right? We had UI Goku, the previous Tanabata unit, Super Full Power Saiyan 4 is probably going to be there. They could throw in Vegeta and Trunks, who've got an EZA, but with them just being on GDC, I feel like it's pretty likely that he's going to be on. It. If not him, so I mean, there's basically three ways this is going to go. It's either him, Vegeta and Trunks, the Blue Boys, or the Go Bros, right? Tech, Gohan, and Goten. Regardless, I mean, they're not all that helpful. The Blue Boys are still kind of useful, and there's always fun to be had with Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but I mean, all in all, they're not that good in the current meta, to be completely honest. Now, the remaining units are all likely to be Dokkan Fest TURs, similar to, again, the Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, where the remaining non-LR units were returning TURs, right? Tech Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the Pan, and the Int Gogeta, right? Again, I don't think they're going to add, not this one, I don't think they're going to add, to EZA LRs, considering the 7 years were already on the GDC banners. I mean, unless they want to throw, I don't know, Namek, Goku, and Full Power Frieza on here. I mean, I guess if this ends up being Namek instead of ROF, they could throw them on there, but I also think that there's likely going to be, right, I mean, if it is Resurrection of F, we're probably going to see these two on the banner, as there's likely to be the Super EZA and the EZA for the celebration, and then just one random DUR thrown in there. I figured Beerus, right, because if they're going ROF, they're probably going for the movie, and then they can just throw in the previous movie, Battle of Gods. Kind of makes sense. There isn't really any other ROF units they can throw on there, so it would either be Beerus, or maybe like the Tech Beerus, or some other one that could work with either Super Bosses or Realm of Gods, is what I would see here. Or not Super Bosses, but movie bosses rather. And then if it's the other end where people are thinking Tournament of Power, then the only likely answer for a Dokkan Fest that's going to get an EZA is the Fizz Angel Golden Frieza. And then the other two units I think could be taken up by possible Super EZAs, the Int UI Goku and the Blue Evolution Vegeta. Now, this could be too soon for them to Super EZA, but they could just be thrown on the banner just to be TURs that would fit, because there aren't really any others. But it's worth noting that AGL Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, for some reason, got special equips this year, and of course has a new battle motion, right? So it's possible, but I'm not saying it's super likely. At a minimum, right, what you would see here, right, if the theory is Resurrection of F, then you're going to see something similar to this setup. If the theory is Tournament of Power, then for sure him, and then two other reps of Universe 7 or Universal Survival Saga units will fill in the remaining two slots. Again, I believe this is going to be more closer to Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku's due to the double return, as opposed to something like UI Goku's from last year, where it had 6 LRs instead of 4. Given how many LRs just returned in the previous month, I would say that this is pretty likely. So, yeah, guys, that is the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, who do you think is going to return on the banner? This is my best guess based on what I can figure from this, you know, from the hint so far. Again, it might not be one of these, but you can essentially assume that this row and this are the guaranteeds to return, and then it's these 3 units that are in flux. So if this is Namek, right, they could probably drop these 2, or I mean, if this is Namek, right, maybe this is, I don't think there are any other Namek EZAs we could get, really. So I mean, Namek would be a kind of a bad choice because they already gave us the major EZAs that we have left from that. I mean, these could all be super EZAs, like it could be AGL Goku and Tech Frieza, for example. And actually, those could still be on here too, for that matter. They could drop this LR, make it 3 LRs, and then put them on the banner too, right? But not regardless of what it is, right? These are going to be the returns, and these are going, you know, these are the possibilities if it is Tournament of Power. But let us know what you think it could be in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.